Welcome to another Shogi video. Today I'm going to talk to you about the website www.playshogi.com. And on this website you can do a lot of cool things, and it's entirely or almost entirely in English, so it's accessible for English-speaking Shogi players. First of all, we have the Learn option, so you can learn how to play. You can start with this tutorial here. You see the basic position of a Shogi game, and you can get an introduction to the different pieces. So for instance, here you can see the rook, which moves as in chess. And now if you enter the opponent's camp, you can see that there is the option of promoting the rook. And now you see the additional squares that you can now access with the new piece. So yeah, that's just learning the rules. It also gives you some special rules. And now you can click on the next button where it explains to you what special rules there are, like Nifu and so on. And it's really very well done for complete beginners. So let's go back to the main page. We have the practice option. So the practice option on that website allows you to play against the computer. You can choose your favorite handicap. So if you desperately want to win one game, you can choose the naked king option. Or you can choose a rook handicap. So for instance, in this case, the computer just plays without a rook. Or you can just play an even game against the computer and just play a normal game. Let's say we do that, and now we just start some normal shogi game, and as you can see, the computer plays quite quickly. Well, so what other options are there? Yeah, I think these two options are nice, one for beginners and one for people who like to play against computers. But my favorites of the website are actually those here on the right. So one is called Collections. Under Collections you can see collections of games. So for instance, here you even have some games by European players, ESC WOSC 2013. You can take a list of the games, and you can now, for instance, start by watching a game between Pavel Makarov and Jean Fortin. And you can just enter view, and now you can scroll through the game that Pavel played against Jean in 2013. It gives you the date, and it gives you the complete game. So that's, of course, a very, very nice feature. Not only that, you can import Kifu or problems. And you can also explore openings. So I think this is maybe my favorite feature on the website, especially if I was a more serious shogi player these days. So here you can really learn about openings. I think this is something which I was completely missing when I played shogi back in the days, that there would be a database that you could easily access, and in which you could learn about certain opening lines. So I mean, granted, these are not annotated games or anything, but it's a database which covers a lot of games. So I guess if you add them up, it's 53,000 games or something. And you can see now what the most popular choices were on each move. So for instance, pawn to 7f was the most popular on the first move, and now you can go to your favorite opening. Let me say, in my case, this was maybe a quick Ishida attack, and you can now take a look at the games that were played in that line. So now we will, for instance, follow one of the lines here with a pawn move, and now a rook moves over and pawn advances, and now you can see the different styles of quick Ishida attack, and you could scroll through the games of I guess these are professional Japanese players. You can just take a look at one of these games, and you can see how they played the position. Yeah, and now we just reach some kind of Ishida formation, and well, I mean, now you can just go through the game. I think this feature is great for a couple of reasons. First of all, you can prepare openings. So if you want to learn a new opening, you can just go to the tree. If I get it back at some point, no, I don't get it back, so I have probably have to go to the openings explorer again. So you can learn different openings. The other thing which is nice is that, of course, when you lost the game, sometimes you feel like you have the feeling that you lost it in the opening, and in such a case you can just look up where you made the mistake or where you deviated from the players in the database, which is maybe likely to be a mistake. So yeah, one extremely cool option for like more serious shogi players. Then I think I'll go back to the main page. Yeah, we covered the learn part, the practice part, the collections part, and now finally I will go to the puzzles part. So first of all, you can go to just Tsume Problems, and you will get different Tsume problems, where you can either choose all, which means you get a Tsume problem of, I would guess that means random difficulty, or you can select something which is closer to your level. So maybe if you're very good, you can go for 13 moves, or if you're just a beginner, you can go for 3 moves Tsume problems, and then you can go to skip next, and you get a Tsume problem, which is just 3 moves long. So now let's take a look at this one for a second. Yeah, now you are asked to play the correct move. I would guess, like at first glance, it's probably bishop drop to 3c, because if gold or silver take, it's rook promoted rook to 1b, which is a mate, and otherwise it's rook to promoted rook to 2d, which is also a mate. So I will enter that move, and it does not tell me that it's wrong, so otherwise it tells you here wrong, but it allows me to enter another move, which means that the first move was correct, and now it gives you in green that your solution is correct. Yeah, so quite nice. Let me go back to the main page. You also have the option of choosing Bayoyomi Survival. And this is actually very, very close to what you have on chess.com as Puzzle Rush. And yeah, as in Puzzle Rush, you basically solve consecutive problems until you make 3 mistakes or until the time is up. And here you have different modes of playing it. One would be a Bayoyomi mode, in which you have 30 seconds to make each move. One is survival mode, where you can be very relaxed and just think it over time and again. Or you can go for the high score mode, where here you see a list of high scores. Maybe it's some kind of daily high scores, I don't know. But yeah, you can play that, and then you can solve as many problems as you can within 5 minutes, with a gradually increasing difficulty. And yeah, maybe I will just do that to finish my coverage of the Playshogi website, to just see how many problems I can solve on the spot. That was fairly straightforward. This one as well. Nice start with 2 relatively simple exercises. Have to be careful that the king does not run here. I can go back and promote, which would avoid. Would it avoid that? Yeah, it would. And then it's probably made by another promotion. I guess that looks pretty nice. This one is fairly simple again. No, yeah, that looks like another very simple exercise. That's a good way to start it. Yeah, now let me check if I give a check. I don't want the king to run here. But if the king runs here, I have gold drop, so that's good. could start by dropping a bishop here. That looks actually pretty good. Because now if I get the king here, the gold drop is going to decide the day, and if the king runs backward, it's just a gold drop here. I mean, the first instinct is to drop a gold here. Because if the king takes, I can drop and mate. What if the knight takes? If the knight takes, it's gold drop on 2e and mate. Okay. Yeah, that is a fairly straightforward puzzle. So let's see if we can solve another one. So this is so now the king doesn't have that many squares, but it's a bit harder to attack the king. Let me see, I mean, if I drop a gold, the king can always just take it. If I drop it, it's a difficult one for me. Because I mean, I can't really move that guy because then the king just runs. I also can't move the promoted rook. Well. There she goes again. I have to do it in this way. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now, what about this position? It's a question of move order, I think, here. If I use the silver first, it doesn't work. But if I use the pawn promotion first, it should work. No, that's nice. Now I just have to promote to a gold, and it's smothered mate. Is that the name? It's the name in chess, I guess. So let's see. Okay, the king might run. But that's maybe not the end of the world if the king runs. Sometimes have a mate here. Okay, now if me just think, I mean, I never have this check, but I might have a gold drop mate here in the last move. Can I go bishop here, check? No, then it just runs. So could be this move, could be this move, and this move. Ah, wow, this was close, but I think the last one counted, so it is 10 in 300 seconds. Well, that was fine, I guess. I think with a little bit of training you can score more than that, I would suspect. Yeah, but that was it from me for today. Thanks a lot for watching this video.